Hello everyone, I'm Christina McCauley.
And I'm Kyle Kittleson. Thanks for joining us for another edition of Orange Slices.
We have another great collection of SoCal slices for you.
That's right, slices of life featuring the fantastic people, places, and things that make Orange County such a great place to live.
You know, one of the more unique features of our beautiful coastline is a stretch of land that's been set aside to allow nature to do its thing.
We'll be taking a tour of the Bolsa Chica Wetlands. Did you know that wetland marshes are one of the most productive ecosystems on the planet?
Well, I do now, but switching gears, did you know Huntington Beach is home to one of the largest weekly car shows in the nation? We are going to check out the Donut Derelicts.
Great, I love hot rods and muscle cars and roller skates.
Wait, roller skates? What do roller skates have to do with the car show?
Nothing. Well, I guess the wheel thing. They both have wheels.
But why are we talking about roller skates?
Oh, well, that's where I'm heading right now. You know, while skating rinks around the Southland have struggled to stay in business, Fountain Valley Skate is going strong. I'm gonna skate on out of here to find out their secrets.
But you don't have skates on.
I was just being figurative. I don't own skates. I have to rent them when I get there. So this is me, figuratively, skating away.
Big points for creativity, Kyle. Nicely done. Now, let's take a look at how this decades-long success story came about for Fountain Valley Skate.
Bob Labriola built his life and career on roller skates. He opened the Fountain Valley skating rink more than 40 years ago. But his story goes all the way back to his childhood.
Back in about 1943, my mom and dad went to a social skating session in New York, in Brooklyn, New York. And that rink was involved in some competition with some other local skating center. And the other rink beat my mom and dad's rink. So my dad came home and said, "You and your sister are going to start skating so you can beat those other people."
The brother and sister team went on to earn national championships up until his competitive career came to an end after college.
Uncle Sam is the one who caused that to happen. I got drafted as soon as I got out of college, and that meant the end of competing. In fact, as far as I was concerned at that time, that was the end of skating for me.
Except it wasn't. He went on to become a professional coach, turning out champion after champion. And then he bought a skating rink of his own.
Okay, I'm the only person in the country that's in the Hall of Fame as a skater, as a teacher, and as an administrator. And I've had over 200 first place winners at the national championships.
My grandfather's been involved with roller skating for 70 years, I believe. And when my dad was a young boy, he was taught by my grandfather, and his skating partner was my mom. They were skating partners since they were 12 or 13 years old, and they married 10 years later.
Today, Ryan is the only other Labriola still in the family business, and his grandfather couldn't be more proud.
When Ryan came, it took a great burden off me, but it also added so much to the success of our business.
Other roller rinks around the Southland have closed down over the years. They take up a lot of valuable space and are being replaced by strip malls and other development.
We're in a lucky position that a lot of other rinks are leased space, and my grandfather 40 years ago purchased this property, so we are the owners of both the property and the building. And that allows us to say no to certain people who want to come in and develop things.
They've always had a knack for finding the best ways to do business.
Now, when I first got to Fountain Valley, I put on my white shirt and my tie and jacket, and I visited so many schools in the morning time to convince them to the benefit of having fundraising skating parties here. And then it just mushroomed, so that right now we have over 100 schools in this area that have their fundraising parties.
They also do birthday parties, lessons, and competitive coaching. Even if you're confident on skates, chances are you don't have these skills. Jenna Tower was a 3-time national champ before she was 12 years old.
I won regionals when I 10 years old, and then I qualified for nationals. So that same year I went to nationals, I won a title there, and I did that for 2 more years.
Now she's competing again in a different field. She's headed to the Miss California Outstanding Teen Pageant. Her talent, of course, roller skating.
And when you tell somebody that you roller skate competitively, they don't really know what you're talking about. So I say, oh, so the stuff you see ice skaters do, I did that on roller skates. And
like any responsible teen, she has a part-time job. You guessed it, right here at Fountain Valley Skate.
I'm actually the DJ, so I do all the announcements, I run the music, I run the games. I'm also an instructor here for public classes on Saturday mornings. So I run the big classes that I used to take, and I get to help children learn how to skate and maybe one day make it as a national champion.
On Thursday and Saturday nights, the rink takes on a different vibe. Fountain Valley has become the new destination for rhythm skaters, hip-hop, R&B, and old-school roll.
Rhythm skating has been around for a long time, and it's not that it's popular now. It's always been popular if you're in the skate community.
We've been doing the rhythm skating for probably about a year now, and the numbers keep going up every week with the help of DJ Burt, who is the leader of all this, so to speak.
Roller skating is a lifestyle for some people. You know, it's a great exercise. A lot of people look forward to their skate nights and really coming out and having a good time.
You get to see people that have the same passion about something that you do. It's a lot of stress relief too. People have long days at work, long days period, and you get to just go out and have fun and let loose.
We call it skate therapy. So they come here, they leave all their troubles at home, they get in here and they have a good time, and they just roll.
It's our passion, it's what we love, it's what we're good at. It feeds our soul, and we're happy, and it's fellowship for all of us together.
Patricia decided to turn her love of skating into community outreach and started a skate service club.
We work in the community. We do fundraising for the community, toy drives, can drives, we give to the needy.
And Pete turned his hobby of making custom skates into a company with sales across the nation.
What we do is we take either a tennis shoe or a dress shoe or a boot or something that's a lot more stylish, and we turn that into a roller skate.
If you really want to have fun, you need style. The reason why it all started is because we're out of Los Angeles. Like Hollywood, everybody wants to have, the best stuff. So, we just took it to the next level with fashion. Your own shoes. You cut the wheels down, you powder coat it, you get them chromed.
So as other rinks have fallen on hard times, Fountain Valley is rolling right along.
A full-service skating rink, not just one that's school kids only or hip-hop skating only, but everything.
But even after 40 years of running a successful business and 70 years of skating, Bob still won't be retiring anytime soon.
I'm here from 9 in the morning every day, and I don't have to be, but I'm passionate about the business, and I'm equally passionate about the sport.
Great story. Thanks, Kyle. Something else that's lasted for decades in Orange County is the Donut Derelicts. They're one of the nation's largest car shows, and it all started with a group of friends and a donut shop. Let's take a look.
You have to wake up pretty early in the morning to be a part of this show. Hundreds of hot rods roll in ready to show off. Actually, it's not a show at all. It's just another Saturday morning with the Donut Derelicts.
It's great because there's no rules. It's not a club. It's just a bunch of guys show up to see cars.
I've been coming here about 30 years, off and on. And this car was my grandma's. She was the second owner.
It happens in the parking lot of a strip mall on Adams and Magnolia. They have to get an early start because everyone needs to be gone when the business is open around 9 a.m. And the donut shop where it all started is still here.
It's been going on about 45 years. A bunch of guys just used to go to the donut shop and drive their old cars. There was something to do, and then more and more people showed up, and it's still the only unofficial I don't know if you'd call it a car show, but gathering of cars. And it's just been going on forever.
This is a show like no other. There's very unique cars out here. Stuff you won't see everywhere, you know, rat rods and woodies and kind of more beach cars.
Ron Marshall traveled all the way from Central California to be here.
About 500 miles. And this show's great. There's all kinds of different kinds of cars here. New cars, old cars, hot rods, non-hot rods, stock cars. It's a good show.
It's just a phenomenal culture. They're always nice people. If you need help with something, they can point you in the right direction. So it's just a whole culture, and it's a whole, it's a lifestyle, and it's fun to see the next generation coming into it. So they're trying to bring auto shops back into the schools again, and get that skill back into the schools, and it's creating this whole generation, new generation of hot rodders, which is really fun.
The DeMarco family doesn't have a hot rod of their own yet, but at almost a year old, Bodie is already a natural behind the wheel. Older brother Jake loves the roar of the engines.
So we come every Saturday that my husband's home from work, and we like to just bring the kids and my husband. We all just like to look at all the fun different cars. My little one here likes to listen to all the engines start and head off, so it's a fun time for the family.
Everyone here loves to brag about their cars and swap old car stories.
It's a 63 convertible sport roadster. It's got a 390 4-barrel car, big block V8, Ford V8. Great car, solid car. And the story of how it almost killed me. It was in high idle mode in my driveway, and out of the blue, the car dropped into drive. Came at me. I jumped up, it pinned me against my shed, knocked my shed off the foundation, and was pushing my shed into my backyard. And my neighbors ran out and shut the car off.
I have a 1928 Model A two-door sedan. It was the first Model A they made. And I found it in a barn in Minnesota, restored it about 5 years ago, and then it was on my bucket list to make it a hot rod. So I made it a hot rod, but I kept it looking stock.
Tom and Cindy were car buffs when they first met more than 40 years ago. She was bringing her very first car in for service and found true love in a garage.
Bill Maxey's Toyota of Huntington Beach, and he was the mechanic that worked on it. And that was in 1972, and it was love at first sight, and he had 4 cars? 5 cars?
5 cars, licensed, registered, and running.
Yeah, so it was
insured.
love at first sight with him and the cars.
Today, their car collection represents a lifetime of togetherness.
We have a 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s cars. And they're kind of cars that were meant something to us through our life and through our growing up. The years or some circumstance why we wanted that particular year car. So.
And they don't just fix up cars to show, they actually take them on the road.
We just bought a 1963 Pontiac Catalina, which is a very big car, and we're fixing that up as we speak, and we're going to drive that. We're actually going to ship it back to Illinois with all of our clothes and everything that we would need for a month-long trip, and we're going to drive Route 66 from Illinois all the way back to the Santa Monica Pier to the very end.
Whether you're ambitious enough to cruise Route 66 or just want to check out some local classics, don't miss Saturday mornings with the Donut Derelicts.
For our final story on this episode of Orange Slices, Kyle is heading over to the largest saltwater marsh from the Tijuana River to Monterey Bay. Let's go explore the Bolsa Chica Wetlands.
Nearly 1,500 acres along the coastline is beginning to look more like it did before Orange County's population explosion. At least that's the goal of those who have worked to protect the Bolsa Chica Wetlands.
It's quite unique because it's right smack in the middle of an urban area, and it is one of the largest remaining saltwater marshes in at least the state of California.
In the early 70s, there were plans to build more than 5,000 homes and a marina here. But community and environmental leaders fought to protect and restore the land. Now, the Bolsa Chica Conservancy continues the mission through research, restoration projects, and most importantly, education.
It's actually really surprising how little people know about wetlands, myself included, before I started working here, and I'm a biology major.
Rebecca Fint first learned about Bolsa Chica on a school tour as a teenager. After college, she served a year with the Peace Corps and then was thrilled to find a staff position here at the place she had fallen in love with as a teen.
Oh my gosh, I love it, yeah. Not everybody gets to do all the crazy stuff that we do here.
This is the Bolsa Chica Interpretive Center. It's a great way to check out the many wonderful creatures who live here, but might not get a chance to see on the trail, or certainly not up this close. And some you might want to avoid a close encounter with, unless they're in the hands of a specialist like Rebecca.
So whenever I take a snake out of its tank, I like to pet them first because you can actually startle them. They can't see very well, they actually only see heat. So your fingers look the same as a mouse to them. So you might startle them or you might possibly get nipped.
You can do a self-guided tour, but staff and volunteers are often on hand to show you what they know. 10-year-old Emily and 7-year-old Elizabeth are here with their grandparents visiting for the first time.
It just gives them some idea of what was here before and what they're trying to restore here. We like sharing the experience we've had here, and the kids are able to see the wide variety that is in this museum. And then we're looking forward to going outside and showing, hopefully we find some of these animals out there and birds.
Bolsa Chica is a top destination for bird watchers like Don Snyder and Harvey Salinger.
Kind of quieter right now. All the little peeps are just working the mud.
They come to Bolsa Chica at least once a week.
It's a way for us to get some exercise and to enjoy the birds and the facilities, everything around here. There's an awful lot more than birds here, but those are the most prevalent, I guess.
When I first came here, the tagline that I saw was, "It's for the birds." And it is true. There's more than 300 species of birds that come in and around Bolsa Chica, of the 400 that flock to Orange County. However, it's far more than just the birds.
We want people to come and see the wetlands and see why the wetlands are important, and then hopefully they'll have a special place in their heart for wetlands when they leave. And so that can be done through an educational tour, that can be done through just coming here on their own time, that can be done coming to one of our public service days where they pick up trash and they just kind of see the environment that they're protecting.
On this day, 9th graders from the Firebaugh High School are here for a field trip. Biology teacher Kenneth Gentili has been bringing students here for over 20 years.
There's only 5 to 10% of wetlands remaining in the state of California, so who knows how far we'd have to travel and what the expense would be and the difficulty of finding transportation. So we're very happy that they have not built on this area, and this remains an area for us to learn and enjoy on a regular basis.
For some of the students, this is a rare opportunity to be out in nature.
Actually haven't done this in a while. I actually gone on a hike with my brother a long time ago, but that was like the first, I think. And this was like really new to me. I was pointing everything out and I was really excited.
The students hike several miles through natural wilderness, stopping at different points along the way for lectures about how the ecosystem works or to catch a glimpse of the birds and wildlife wandering through. Daryl Earhart is the tour guide today.
Oh, I love what I do. I'm a volunteer, and so I've got to love it.
Daryl started volunteering here 2 years ago after retiring from a 32-year career with the LA County Sheriff's Department.
I've always been interested in science and nature, so this was a natural outlet for me to devote some time, and this is like the next challenge in my life. So it's a challenge to meet groups of different ages and different interests, and be able to expose some things here at the wetlands to each of those groups is rewarding for me.
After the hike, the students are put to work doing the types of scientific experiments that ecologists do. They conduct tests on water samples to check the health of the saltwater, kind of like giving the wetlands a checkup. The condition of the water determines the health of the surrounding environment.
It's much like a doctor would test a human, test certain things blood pressure, pulse, respiration, and things like that. That's kind of what those vital signs are, what we're looking at here when we test the water, the vital signs, and see how healthy the environment is. Because you can hold up a jar of healthy water and a jar of unhealthy water, and you might not look at it and be able to tell the difference, but by running these tests you can determine exactly the state of the water.
And the health of the wetlands has a profound connection with the surrounding human population. The marsh is rich with platonic life, oxygen-producing microorganisms that can account for 80% of the air we breathe. And if you're a seafood lover,
more than 75% of commercially marketed fish are wetland dependent. So if you look at Bolsa Chica, we have more than 50 species of fish, from halibuts to sea basses to crustaceans. So if you're a seafood lover, you want to make sure that a habitat like Bolsa Chica is healthy and thriving, because ultimately it goes in at your dinner table.
We're looking for nutrients like storm runoff, if people use too much fertilizer or detergents that will affect the phosphates and nitrates in the water. Check for oxygen level of the water, dissolved oxygen, salinity, how salty the water is.
Bolsa Chica is always in need of volunteers, not only to lead tours, but lots of other opportunities to get involved.
Fun things like kayak cleanup, so nobody's allowed to kayak in the water here, but we get to go in the water and actually remove the trash because we have permission from the Department of Fish and Wildlife. So it's a whole range of really fun stuff. All of it's really fun.
Restoring the wetlands, digging up invasive plants and planting the plants that do belong here naturally. And there are opportunities for all ages too, young people as well as old people like myself.
If you'd like more information about scheduling a tour or volunteering, visit their website at bolsachica.org.
Hey Kyle, I see you remembered your sunscreen at Bolsa Chica. Good job.
Yes, it is really beautiful out there. You should definitely check out the hiking trails. And of course, you have to hit the rink at Fountain Valley Skate. I don't know how long it's been since you've had on roller skates, but it is a blast.
So I should be hiking and skating. Are you trying to say something? Are you trying to say I need more exercise?
Oh, come on. You take great care of yourself. You're incredibly fit. You look great. I'm just saying you should have some fun.
So I'm not fun.
I don't know.
I'm just messing with you. You're too easy, Kyle.
Oh, I know you were just messing with me. I just wasn't sure where to go next.
You stay right here. I love hosting this show with you. I think you're awesome.
You too, Christina. And that's going to wrap it up for this edition of Orange Slices.
Remember, if you have an idea about a person, place, or thing that would make a great slice, let us know. Find our Orange Slices page on Facebook. We would love to hear from you.
Until then, I'm Kyle Kittleson.
And I'm Christina McCauley.
See you next time.
Now let's take a look at this decades-long success story. Came about because I messed up. Hey Kyle, I see you remembered your soul screen. Your soul.
I remember it this time.
It was renewed.
When's the last time either one of you actually went roller skating?
Recently.
I love your figurative skating.
Yes.
I took a semester of ice skating, actually.
Double axel.
More like just staying up, like without falling.
Was it a physical education class?
I don't know.
Liberal arts.
They took my money and said, good luck, sign this waiver.
We got lost in each other's eyes for a moment.
You can't look in her eyes.
No. Mesmerized.
It's so we're just like, and I'm headed to
another micro step to your right.
And now she's micro-stepping.
I like it better when they tell me I'm perfect.
Oh!
What was that?
Left, right? Okay. So, actually, Christina, back to your right just a smidge.
Yes, it's really beautiful out there. You should definitely check out.
Kyle, go back to where you were, just a smidge. Her left now, just a, and there, perfect.
Kyle, just talk to me about ecosystems and I'm
So
so
smart.
happy.
And you can roller skate.
How's my hair? It's not sticking out anywhere or flat anywhere.
You have great hair, Kyle.
Propecia.
Just one micro step to your right, Christina. Perfect. Over just a half a micro.
A half a micro.
Perfect. Right. Actually, just a smidge to your right, just a little bit. To your right a little more. Right there.
Okay.
Perfect.
Am I in the right spot?
This is why I do it. I just want to see
I know,
her.
you just want to see-
Is this
Smidge,
correct?
Smidge. Now you move a smidge.
Oh, I bet this is
Smidge.
perfect.
All I
You were
heard was
perfect.
I was perfect.
That's true. No, you
I
were
was
perfect. Yeah.
perfect, and move a smidge.
Every time we do this, I always have to double up on my therapy session.
You do? Like.
Well, because like just being around someone so perfect
Oh.
makes me feel so less. So I just have to like work it out. It's a problem with me.
Yeah. And Val, of
So
course.
there's
who is
tissues in my car
Yeah.
for when I leave.